Hi, everyone. So, in the last few days, the whole question of right and wrong has come up in a big way. I mean, this whole question of the comet that's going around the sun, apparently, and is it just a comet or is it a spaceship with extraterrestrials come to save the world or to capture all of us humans? I mean, the controversy is astonishing to me. I just read some very influential scientists saying it's just a comet. And on the other hand, a whole stream of stuff around, not really a comet, spaceship, and misunderstanding what's going on. And then there's a question of Gaza, for example. I mean, the polarity around Gaza is amazing. People think that it's terrible what's happening. It's wrong. And then I read another person saying, hang on, you don't understand it. It's actually exactly as it should happen and it's right. And so these questions around the comet, around Gaza, around COVID, are the vaccines right or wrong? The controversy around it is amazing how people have taken sides in families, partners. Everyone is taking sides, and who's right, who's wrong. So when it comes to the question of right and wrong, I can see what's going on over here. Rumi, the great Sufi poet, had this beautiful, beautiful poem, something that went like this, and he was saying, beyond right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Beyond right and wrong, there's a field, I'll meet you there. I love that, because what's it pointing to? It's pointing to the fact that right and wrong create conflict, create bad relationships, doesn't really solve anything, creates wars, major. I mean, the whole world is stuck in this right and wrong dialogue. So what's going on and how do we resolve it? Well, the thing is that right and wrong, when I was walking in the wetlands this morning, and I was thinking about this question of right and wrong, and I was suddenly realizing that the flowers I was passing and the trees I was passing and the ground that I was walking on never asked questions of right and wrong. They just lived. The lion killing a buck, right and wrong, doesn't make any sense at all. The lion certainly doesn't ask those questions, and the buck doesn't judge the lion. So the question of right and wrong is a very human thing. It's not nature. Nature doesn't bother about right and wrong. Nature lives in that space beyond right and wrong that Rumi is referring to. So right and wrong is a human idea, a narrative, and that belongs to what I call the thinking mind. The thinking mind works by polarities, by comparisons. It's the only way it can function. There's right and wrong. That's the thinking mind. But, and this is the secret, but that's happening here, but not here. The heart doesn't go into right and wrong. What happens to the heart when the heart looks at Gaza, what the heart brings up is compassion, sadness. Those are qualities of the soul, looking at what's going on in the world, all these wars. Right and wrong, the heart doesn't think the way the mind thinks. Horizontal, what I call flat earth perspective. That's the thinking mind, flat earth. The vertical is where the heart lives. And in the vertical, what there arises is compassion. And when that vertical meets the horizontal, in that place, then that heart informs the head and allows a kind of right action response to happen rather than reaction. Reaction is right, wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm going to kill you. That's reaction. But the heart, which is buried in the deepness of our beingness, where nature functions from, when that space opens up into the horizontal thinking mind's narrative, then it transforms that narrative. And a response is, a wise response then functions into that place. And then we have wisdom, and then we have love and compassion. That's when the heart brings in its energy into that space of the thinking mind. Thinking is fine. There's nothing wrong with the thinking when it knows its place. It's a servant. The wise master sits in the heart. Heart is emperor. That's the wise master. And it responds out of compassion and love. Whatever that response is will be appropriate and will not create wars, will not create disturbances, because it's coming out of knowingness of the whole. That is the heart. And when we start to function as human beings in our fullness, not just operating from the level of the thinking mind, that's very narrow, that's horizontal, that's flat earth. When we can be present fully in the now moment with our hearts open, then we can respond. Then we can respond with love. Have a good day.